little bit of the metric scavenger hunt lab, making sure we all know how to use a meter stick and can identify a meter stick. Very important that you can identify a meter. Can you identify a centimeter? And can you identify a millimeter? Then, can you effectively use a meter stick to count by meters, centimeters, and millimeters? I'm going to show you this real quick. We're going to practice this a lot in class, and you can certainly watch this video as many times as you want, but it's very, very important that you have this mnemonic written on your lab. King Hector demanded more delicious chocolate milk. Remember, that's LG as well right here. Okay, now, the thing in the corner of the classroom that you are using, the long brown stick, this is a meter stick, okay? The meter stick is divided up into centimeters and millimeters, so it's really, really useful. This is what it looks like. You zoom in. You don't want to use this part right here in inches because that's not the metric system. Okay, 1 meter stick. So guess how many meters is in a meter stick? You get rid of the stick, it's now just 1 meter. So that's how long a meter stick is, right? Cool or what? Remember this, please. That's the exam question, kids. All right. Now, if you zoom in really, really closely, these things that are counting off, these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, it divides the stick into 10 groups of 10 centimeters, okay? So these numbers on the stick, 1, 2, 3, are all centimeters, right? Cool, all the way down, all centimeters. Okay, now, the really, really small tick marks, these spaces right here, these are all millimeters. And if you speak Spanish, you know mil is 1,000, right? So a millimeter is a thousandth of a meter, 1 over 1,000 of a meter, okay? So guess what? If you multiply this by 1,000, so if I had 1,000 millimeters, guess what you have? 1 meter. In 1 meter stick, you have 1,000 millimeters, right? That's very important to know. Centimeters, right? You know centi is 100th, right? So if you were to take that meter stick and count it as in centimeters, you would have 100 centimeters. So there are 100 centimeters per meter, 1,000 millimeters per meter, okay? So I'm going to quickly show you how to count the distance of this narwhal, the length of the narwhal, okay? So 1 meter stick. So I'm going to keep going. I'm going to stack these up. 2, and a little bit more than 2, right? Let's draw a straight line down right here. There we go. So right about there. That's where the narwhal ends. This is where he starts. This is where he ends. Or she, right? Okay, so let's count it in meters. So 1 meter stick is how long? 1 meter. Now we're adding another meter stick, so that's 2 meters, right? 1 plus 1 is 2. And a little bit of another one. You can't count this in centimeters. I don't want to see 2 meters and 5 centimeters or something. That's not how it works, okay? So if you're going to do a measurement in meters, the whole thing has to be in meters. So guess what? You can do a decimal, though. So if we count this and find out that this goes to the 10 centimeter mark, that is 0.1 meter right there. So if we add that to the 2, guess what we get? 2 plus 0.1, 2.1 meters, okay? 2.1 meters. Okay, now, let's go ahead, though, and count this in centimeters, okay? We said before that a meter stick is 100 centimeters, right? So let's count this in centimeters. Here it is. 1 meter stick is 100 centimeters. Let's add another 100, 100. Another 100, 200 centimeters. And then this goes to the 10 centimeter mark over here. So plus 10, this goes up to the 210 centimeter mark. So that is how long our narwhal is, 210 centimeters. Okay, let's do it in millimeters now. You're probably already thinking that if we counted by 100s with centimeters, then with millimeters, we're going to count by what? 1,000. So 1 meter stick is 1,000 millimeters. We have 2,000 millimeters for the second one. If we go up to the 10 centimeter mark, let's look if we zoom in a little bit more. And if we count, here's a centimeter, let's count the millimeters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So in each centimeter, there are 10 millimeters. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So there would be 100 millimeters right here, right? So 2,100 millimeters, right? Cool or what? Now, it's really, really cool because if, remember, this was 2.1 meters, right? That's what we said earlier. So here's the meters. If we were to convert this into centimeters, Remember we said that this was, how many centimeters was it? 200, yeah, 210, yeah, 210. 210 centimeters, right? So that's what we said earlier, if we go back in the video. Now, watch this. Let's do the conversion. We're starting in meters, going to centimeters. 1, 2. We go 1, 2. Add a 0 there. What do we get? 210 centimeters. Cool or what? Now watch this. Let's go one more step. 1, 1, 2, 3 to millimeters. Watch this. 1, 2, 3 for millimeters. What do we get? That's right, kids. 2,100 millimeters. So look, we identified a meter, right? Here's the meter stick. The centimeter is these little counted off numbers on the stick, right? 1, 2 centimeter, 3 centimeter, 4 centimeter. You're going to have to do this on a practical next week, so make sure you pay attention to this. And millimeters, of course, were the really, really zoomed in, itty bitty ones right here. Cool or what? All right, kiddos, hopefully that helps. We're going to practice this today in our lab. Good luck.